So there's a couple of different types of Republicans in the South, a few different types. First, most of the African-American population would have been Republican. Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. He had helped emancipate the slaves. They followed the party of Lincoln. So there are a number of African-American legislators at this point that are going to be elected. In fact, South Carolina is interesting because at one point it actually has a majority black legislature. This is going to be decried by Southerners, that they're the wrong people in charge and they shouldn't have as much say as they do. They're going to call these governments corrupt and inefficient, and that's not really true. They're no more corrupt or inefficient than any other government. There are two other groups that we need to note here. The one is the carpetbaggers. Carpetbaggers were Northerners who had come into the South for a couple of different reasons. The one reason was they wanted to come into the South to gain political power. Now that if you're a Northern Republican, you're going to come down, people would vote for you. Other reasons might be to buy some of that cheap land, get yourself a plantation. Oftentimes, though, many of the carpetbaggers were former military veterans that wanted to come in and help rebuild a devastated South. People like teachers and lawyers and such were coming into the South to try to help rebuild. The second group was scalawags. These are Southerners. These were Southern white people that were willing to work with the Republicans, sometimes becoming Republicans themselves. Oftentimes they've been unionists. Oftentimes they were trying to move away from the traditional cotton-based economy, trying to move in more and industrialize the South. So they were trying to change the Southern ways. So we have black legislators, we have carpetbaggers and scallywags, and then there's going to be this effort to quote unquote redeem the South. The redeemers are trying to have a redemption. And if you think about what redemption means, it means to put things right, to take something wrong and make it right again. And the redeemers want to go back to the way things were before the Civil War. So the redeemers are going to be groups like the Ku Klux Klan. And what the Klan is going to do is use vigilante violence in order to get rid of these three groups. So the Klan is going to use lynching as a technique in order to provide fear and intimidation. They're going to target, yes, African Americans, but it's not just the African Americans in the South they're targeting. They're also going to target these carpetbaggers and scallywags. Anybody that would have voted Republican, they're going to try to get out of office because, yes, the Klan was the party of the Democrats, the Southern Democrats who are going to want to implement white supremacy back into the South and try to dominate that society through states' rights arguments.